Welcome back, students. In this video, we'll be learning about implementation of React Router. This is an empty project just created using Vite. So the first thing we need to do is to install React Router to this existing project. We can do that by having the command npm install react-router. This installs the required dependencies for React Router. Then we have to add React Router to our main.tsx. You already see we have an app component being rendered over here. Instead of this app being a static element, we want to change this app dynamically according to the route that the front end enters. We will first import the router provider. This is the connection between the React router and the root element that we will add. We also need the create browser router, which will map for which path which element will get rendered. Firstly, let's create this route. And inside this browser router, we will give the path. So let's suppose for path slash, we will have an element and we will add this router using the router provider. So we have, as you can see, we have given the parameter of this router to the router that we just constructed. So this router right now will not change anything. It will still give you the app when we go to the slash. So let's run this. So our normal app is being rendered. I will delete this app component and I'll create custom pages for demonstration. Whatever pages we have, let's keep it under a folder called pages. Let's create a home page. This will just render the name home page. This home page will import in our main.tsx. And then for path slash, we will render this home element. And now when we go to our browser, our home page gets displayed. So let me just center this home page and then we'll continue. Typically, when we have a router, we need different pages in order to cycle through them according to the links. So let me create a few pages. And once we have created this, we will again import everything under our main. And also import contact page. And we'll give different paths for each. For contact, we will render the contact page. For profile, we'll render the profile page. Okay, so we have our router setup. When the front end will go to the slash contact, it will run this contact page. On slash profile, it will render this profile page. So right now we are under the slash. That's why we have the home page. When we go to the contact, we see the contact page. Okay, perfect. So we can now navigate according to the routes. We would typically also have a link so that we could cycle between them, such as a nav bar in which we have all the links. So let's also create that. And I would like to keep the components under the components folder. This will be my nav bar. And inside the nav bar, I will have a few links. Those links are special. Those links are not A tags. So whenever we are using a router, we use the router custom components in order to navigate between components. For this, we will import the link component from React router. and we will have the to attribute to it, which points to the proper page. So Copilot is being helpful. We have the link with slash profile. This will go to the profile page. We can delete this as of now. So we have these three links set up. So again, we'll go to the main. We'll import this. What I want is the navbar should be present in all the elements. For this, what we can do is use the children from React Router. So instead of this path, we can use the children. Instead of this homepage element being rendered over here, I would render the navbar and also a special element, that is our outlet, which will render all the different pages. So we will import that again. And then we'll add our outlet. So now for this particular path, we will have a navbar and the outlet. The outlet would decide what element would be under this. So we will move everything under the children under the children of this element. And also go back with our home page. We can also use index true over here. This tells you that if no path is given after, this will be the default element that will be rendered. So now let's go back to our browser, check out what's going on. So we have three different links. When we go to home page, we get the home page being we have the home page being rendered in the outlet. And when we go to the profile, again we have the profile page. When we go to the contact, we have the contact page being rendered. Okay, so this gives us a basic structure of how single page application works. On the top, you can have the navbar, and when someone clicks the link, the outlet changes the element in which everything is rendered. Next up, we also need some kind of error element. Suppose someone types in a URL manually, which is not mapped to any component, then we can display that. So let's have error page. This is my error page, and I can say 404. Also, I would also like to have a link to go back to our home page. So this will be go to home page, and you also have to import this link from React Router. Let's have it under h1 so that looks better. Import this and then add it as a wildcard component. So this will be outside our main path. It will be a wildcard. This means any path that does not match our predefined paths would render this error page. Let's try that out. So everything else works fine. If we go to contact 1, then we get an error page 404, and then also we have a link to go back to home page. So you can have error pages like this. Right now, as you can see, we have done all the routing on our main.tsx, which might not be ideal, because this routing could have a long list of all the paths and the elements. So it's better to do it in a separate file. And for that, I like to create a utils folder and create a file name called router. And we will move all of this, the route as well as the imports over here. We would have to change the imports a little bit. So instead of dot pages, we have the dot pages. And similarly with the components, dot components. And this create browser router has not been imported here. So let's import that from React router, not React router DOM. And we will export this router. Alright, so Aura functionality of routing is handled by this router.tsx. And then we have to import routers from utils router. We can remove all the unnecessary imports over here. The only thing important is having the router provider, which tells our root element that router has been enabled, and this is where you add all the routing. So let's just test everything works fine or not. Okay, some imports are having issues. So let me just fix that. This should go under our main. And save the router as well. Okay, so back and we are good to go. And for the profile, I will just change it to h1 as well. All right, so now all our router is defined in one particular file. This is much better. Separation of concerns. So next up, how do we use dynamic routes? So suppose someone has a profile and we have IDs like profile IDs which are separate. So instead of having a static profile, we will display different IDs according to what ID we are being given in the URL. So we can do that by using colon, the name of the parameter. Here I can have ID, or let me have it like user ID. And this matches profile slash any other string over here. And to capture this user ID, we will go inside the profile page. We will import use params from React router. And we can get the user ID from use params. And then at the end, we can also display this user ID. Okay, so if someone goes into this particular profile page, they will be shown user page of the user ID. So right now, if I go into the profile, this will be error because profile does not match anything. Profile slash ID matches something. So profile slash 1 would match the profile page 1 and profile page 2 similarly. So in case whenever you have multiple users and for each user you have to display a different content, you can use this method to have a dynamic route for different users and fetch the data accordingly. Suppose the user ID is 2, you fetch the data of user 2 from the backend. So this is how you use dynamic URLs. Next up, let's see how do we protect certain routes from being accessed according to either the role or if the user is authenticated or not. Let's suppose I want this profile slash ID to be only accessible to a person who is logged in. The authentication information could be stored in your local storage. But for now, we will just simulate that. So we need some kind of behavior so that before the path loads, we check if that authentication token is there or not, or if the person is authenticated, or if the role is as required for this particular URL. For that, we'll create a function. Let's name it auth loader. So for here, I will have is authenticated equal to false. So this is just a simulation saying that right now the authentication is false. So we'll check if it is authenticated or not. If it is not authenticated, then we will redirect to a different URL. In our case, to the home page. So let's redirect to home page. And we also need to import the redirect from router. Okay, it has been already imported. You can import this information from local storage or context, and this auth loader could be run before the path has been reached. So in here we can have a loader which is a auth loader. So right now, as you can see, we have the authentication is authenticated as false. That means before this page is being shown, this function runs and you can direct what is happened inside this function. So let's go to a contact page. Everything's fine. Home page seems good. If I go to profile /profile/1 now, okay, I go back to the home page. Let's go to the contact page. Again, go to profile/2 in our case. We go back to our home page. So typically, instead of going back to our home page, you would load this to /login, but I have not created the login page. That's why I have redirected to the home page. And this is how you can protect certain front-end routes from being rendered. This loader is a function that runs before the page is being loaded. You can also fetch data inside the loader and return that data. So let's assume you return the user info you return. And that user info could be accessed by this page as well. So let's turn this to true. And then if we go to /profile/2 now, we can access it because our authentication is true. And to access the data from the loader, we can go to the page in which the loader has been run, so profile page, and inside the profile page you can import the hook, use loader data. With the loader data, okay, you can use this hook and you can render the user information. So we can use the user info, whatever was returned by the loader. So loader could also be used to have fetch calls, which will happen before the page load. In our case, we got the user info John Doe. And with all of this information, you can cover 90% of what React Router offers. There are a few different things other than this as well, but most of the times these are the most important core features of React Router, what you will be using. Thanks and have a great day.